This businesswoman seems anxious about something when a man approaches and ends up scaring her. It all started when she was working and receives a call. She answers when she realizes that it is one of her employees. The businesswoman is nervous to discover that again she is having another problem, and this time it is customers complaining, and this makes the woman even more nervous, because several times she has already explained to her employees how things work. She complains that she always talks to the employees, holds meetings and explains how everything works, but they don't seem to understand. Then she angrily tells the employee that if the customer undoes the deal, she will deduct it from the employee's salary, since there is no point in talking to them. She is being super rude and offends the employees, and then says that she will go to the company, but before she gets there, she hopes that everything has been resolved, because she doesn't want any problems on her side. The businesswoman does not want to hear any explanation and claims to be going to the company in a few moments, then says goodbye and ends the call. A few minutes later, she is already in her car and she's angry because the car is not working, and the businesswoman is already at her limit, complaining that every time there is a problem, everything starts to go wrong. She tries again to start the car, but it is not starting at all, and this only makes the woman even more stressed. Meanwhile, a man is worried about himself, because there are days when he has nothing to eat. He looks through the garbage for something, but finds nothing. Then from a distance, he sees a lady in her car and decides to go ask her for something. While the businesswoman is complaining, the man suddenly arrives and ends up scaring the woman who was caught off guard. She starts to complain that he caught her by surprise and ended up scaring her, so she asks what he wants there. The man asks for a coin, but the woman tells him to leave, because she is already full of trouble. He insists so she can give him something to eat, but the woman continues to scorn him and tells him to leave. She says that she is full of problems and things to do. Talking to herself, she begs her car to start again because she has to get to work on time and can't be late, but her car won't start anyway. This makes her even angrier than before, because there is no one who can fix her car at this moment, and she still has an appointment. She is worried and doesn't know who will fix her car. As the man keeps going through the garbage to find food, he realizes that the woman is trying to start her car, and because he used to be a mechanic, he decides to try to help her. He suddenly appears in the car window, scaring the woman again, and she starts complaining again about him scaring her. But the man explains that he was looking for something to eat and realized that she is having trouble with her car, so he offers to help her. But the woman seems to doubt him because of the man's physical appearance, and the man tells her that he used to be a mechanic and can help her, but the woman doesn't believe him, claiming that the man is all dirty and is on the street. But the man keeps insisting, and she ends up giving him a chance after so much insistence. Then the man does his best to help the businesswoman. He fixes some things in the car and claims that it will work out. But the woman inside seems to doubt that he can fix the car, thinking that the man must not understand anything about mechanics. After a while of tinkering with the car, the man says that the lady can start the car now to test if it is working. And she does as he asks, still not believing that he can, but is surprised when the car finally starts. She feels sorry for having judged the man by his appearance, for having spoken badly about him many times, and she doesn't even know how she will apologize to him, and she justifies herself for having acted this way due to all the stress in her day. The man already felt confident that he had made it, seeing that he hadn't lost his touch with his old profession. Then, inside the car, the woman decides that she needs to help the man, because he asked for just one plate of food and deserved it. She calls out to him, who is already leaving, and he goes back to see what the woman wants with him. Then he is very happy when the woman says that she will help him, and gets out of the car with the intention of helping the man. The two enter the businesswoman's house together, and she invites him to sit down and wait. But before leaving him there alone, she warns him that he can't let her down, that he should wait while she goes to get him something to eat, and she also warns him that her house is full of cameras and he shouldn't let her down, that he should sit and wait. A few minutes later, she returns with a plate of food for him. The two of them talk a little and she observes that he is a very intelligent man, and she doesn't know why he is in the street and walking like a beggar, and she questions what happened to him to end up in this situation of even starving. He explains that he was a mechanic and had a family, that he had 2 sons, a wife, 2 houses and 4 companies in his name. The man tells his whole story, of how he managed to acquire his goods and build his own companies, but he ended up becoming very proud and haughty, thinking that he was better than everyone, even better than his family. So the man started to despise everyone around him, but life taught him the hard way, and now he is on the street. He lost his family, his houses, his cars and all his companies, and now he is a mechanic, but he is on the street. He feels very sorry for all the decisions he made in his life, because everything he did was thinking of himself, never thought about others. And this sank him deeper and deeper into an endless abyss. Today he can see everything he has done, and can see that everything he is harvesting today is because of everything he planted. The woman understands that all this happened because of pride. And the man explains that life teaches us that we should never think we are better than others, that even if we are up there, with a good life, we should never humiliate people. That this is a life lesson not only for him. The businesswoman thinks about how strong his testimony is, and feels that she fits the same profile as him, because she is a very hard person in everything she does, who doesn't like anything done in a wrong way. She tells him that she had just called her employee to fire her, because she doesn't like things going wrong. The woman realizes that she has never put herself in the shoes of her employees, and feels that the man's story has moved her, because he seems like a kind and intelligent person, and she feels that he deserves a chance at life. His story made the woman reflect on her own story, as she currently has a good financial situation, has her companies and doesn't need anyone, and that she thought she didn't need anyone, but that's not how things work. She observes the man, who is an intelligent person who had everything to work out, and still reached that level. She understands that she never wants to reach that same level as him, and decides that she will be different, that she will change her attitudes. And she changes her mind about the dismissal of her employee, deciding to call her to ask her to come back, because she was going to the company just to fire her. She thinks that the man's story is beautiful, and has faith that he will succeed, and asks God to bless him. The man thanks her for the appetizing meal, that he feels very satisfied afterwards, but the woman who feels grateful for the life lesson she received. He claims that he needs to go, but feels very grateful for the help of the businesswoman. And the woman asks him if he believes in God, and the man answers yes, without even hesitating, because he has his infinite belief in God. Then the businesswoman tells him that God has touched his heart to give him a job, because she feels he deserves another chance to make a difference. And she explains that her company needs a driver, and would like him to be part of her team. The man immediately accepts. And the businesswoman knows that just because he got where he is at that moment, he deserves this chance. She feels that he will make a difference within her company. The man feels the urge from the bottom of his heart to give her a hug, even though he knows he is dirty and lives on the streets, because his happiness is radiating everything in him. The woman readily accepts the hug and they both hug each other very emotionally.